Hello, Daycarn here, and welcome back to Torment, Tides of Numenera. Alright, last episode I had weird flickering and everything on the video. I still fiddling with the settings. I'm sorry if it looks horrible. I tried my best. I don't know what was going on. The recording looked fine, the version looked fine, and then it just went all weird when it was rendered. So, anyway, let's continue on. Have you spoken with Melmoth then? What did he say? He said the tides are within all of us, and that we should use our powers as necessary. She laughs. I imagine he called me a fool. And worse, he's done more research into the tides than anyone else here in Mil Avest. Tell me, did he say anything else? Yeah. I work with them. They are not, as far as I am aware, any manifestation of the tidal energies. It's not as though we have a measuring apparatus, of course, but I think I would know if I were using these forces. At any rate, I sent you to speak with Melmoth. Do you believe that he has conducted his studies with anything but his own mind power? Yeah, number 4. For a moment she stares at you. Really? I had not ever received that impression, not in the centuries I have known him. I have found him to be caustic and ill-mannered, but I realize that this may be my personal interaction with speaking with him. My own view, of course. It is irrelevant to the deeper truth that he has his own motives, and they may be purer than mine.
I'll remember that.
So, I have another task for you. Andros and Rima are arguing. The recent negotiations between the Caledon and Page have broken down, and these two have taken it hard. They are like to come to blows if they cannot be reconciled. She bows her head. If one strikes the other, the laws of Milaves are clear. The attacker will be evicted. I don't know if the Sorrow is truly more active, but they came here choosing safety, and it is my wish that they have it. Please speak to them. Scan thoughts. Will she take control outside their minds as well, or will she let them choose their own path? Andros, of all of us here, you are the only... No, this is Makina. Andros, out of all of us here, you are the only one who doesn't seem to want anything, who isn't openly manipulating the others for our own benefits. So, what's the play? You say we are free to choose, and to our own choices. So, what choices are you making? What do you really want? Scan thoughts. She's using everyone. She just doesn't want to admit it. Maybe it's vanity, or maybe something else. Yeah, I want to hear her answer. She smiles at Makina sadly. What I want is an end to our stupid Ineos warfare. I want us to work together. The squabbles between our sire and those who support the legacy of the first mean nothing in the face of the Sorrow. But get any two of us together and the larger threat vanishes while our deaths creep closer still. She gestures to the beauty around her. Milaves is a garden, a cage. The Sorrow can't come in, but we can't leave. Have you seen animals locked in a menagerie? They are restless, caged, and yearn to be free. But if they leave the cell, they are hunted by their would-be keepers. So it is with us here. But instead of uniting to solve our problem, we lash out at each other. I would see us set aside those differences. Andres, you are my older sister, and so I am cautious in saying this to you, but you have a certain reputation, even among the rest of us. You are known to be hard, unforgiving. You carry grudges through centuries, even beyond death. Matakina, please, you need to let go. Akina's voice rasps from her dry throat. Nearly all the authors of my tragedies have been our kind. Our sire and his abandonment in my moment of peril, the first and her order to slaughter my village, Paj, who bloodied her blade herself, Tash, who claimed to be a friend and turned on me, Melmoth, who offered me aid and betrayed me to the authorities. She turns her head to glare at Melmoth nearby. Need I go on? Address. Do you always act with full knowledge, sister? Are your choices made rationally with full thought, or do you act without thinking? Think on this, and think on what example you set. Yeah, number one. Really? That's the message you take from this? Fine, I suppose it's better than nothing. She pinches the bridge of her nose. Sometimes I admit, our kind can be supremely frustrating. She waves you away. Go and speak to Ramir and Andros. Perhaps in helping them you can learn from them as well. Okay, alright. Farewell. I think it's these lights that's causing the graphical area because it can't render them at the same time. I don't... Oh, there they are. This woman bears a toothy smile, enjoying the anger in the man she speaks with. You probably think if you won, the endless battle would actually end. Andreas Sandhand. This man's face is flushed and angry, veins throb in his forehead, and his eyes are focused on his companion. Stop talking, Reimer. He spits out each word, gripping his weapon belt with her bloodless fingers. Stop talking or I'll prove you wrong right now. He planned this. Ridiculous. I would have known. Ramir. It would do nothing. It wouldn't do anything of the sort, Ramir replies, grinning as though she intends to eat the man whole and screaming. Even this argument is part of his plan. Do what you have to do, Androgynous. If not for the law, you'd be already dead, he says, spits at her feet. Traitor. Bull. You child, she laughs with scorn. You ingrate. A typical First Matilda's response, angry and... Oh god. This is no way for a family to behave. They simultaneously turn silently. Incredulous looks your way. This is exactly how our family behaves, she mutters at your side. Get used to it. Yeah, that's what my family behaves like. Oh! No, I didn't mean to click that. Andreas asked me to mediate. They act exactly like sullen children. Andros Androgynous folds his arm and turns away from you. Ramir flushes and stares at her feet. Alright, she mutters at last. Tell us what you need to know. First off, what are you arguing about? The two watch each other wearily for a moment, as if speaking first would somehow forfeit the argument. We mostly disagree, he says. On the amount of respect due our sire. He arches a cold eyebrow at Ramir, a silent question. She gives a reluctant nod. Okay. Androgynous. I just don't understand it, he says, flinging his hand in Ramir's direction. The changing god abandoned us at birth, then fed us lies after when he chose to speak with us at all. She claims he has a master plan. I see a man who serves himself first and always. He doesn't care if we die. Even I care more if Ramir dies than our sire does. Siblings, sharing that bastard's consciousness doesn't make us related. He barks a bitter laugh. Did you know that he sparked the whole war from my body? He got the first angry at me, then ditched the shell, leaving me to deal with the consequences. Good thing the first knows the difference between the face and the mind. He rubs his eyes. But Ramir, look, I know how she feels. The sorrow is haunting us all. It's nice to think that the changing god has a plan to protect us. It's just not true. I know, he glares at Ramir, then looks back at you. Damn it, he says, turning away after a moment. You see why. There's tears in his eyes. None of us want to kill each other. You see that, right? His eyes harden. But if I have to choose between someone brave enough to stand against their father and her, I drop her and mourn later. Ugh. Let's see your side. It's simple, sister. The endless battles is a test, and Androgyna's side is failing at it. For centuries, our creator managed to annoy the first enough that she stormed off in a huff. He even did it in Androgyna's body. Do you think that is this big oaf of all people would understand what the sire was thinking? She shakes her head, laughing. The fact of the matter is our father created this sanctuary for us to protect us from the sorrow. But hiding isn't a strategy. Eventually we'll have to take the battle to it. The gleam in her eyes is banked fire. And when that time comes, our father wants an army who will follow his orders without question. He allowed the first to spread her doubts and the traitors among us to flock to her side. She tosses Andros a scornful look. Even so, I'm sure it hurt our father to discover that so many of his children mistrust him, she says, lowering her eyes. Imagine how it feels knowing that you have to kill some of your children to save the rest. And that's it! Simple, like I said. Andronicus simply cannot accept this grand rebellion is all part of our father's plan. Can't accept that we are our own existence and ongoing survival to him. She sneers at Andros. If you hate his sanctuary so much, why not leave? And he wants to kill each other over it. Better to spend our lives in war itself. Yeah. Try that one. Neither of them speak for a moment. Their faces are identical sculptures of surprise. I don't know, he says, glancing at me. Nothing you could say would make us take each other's side. And with apologies to our address, I don't want to get along with Romeo. I've hated her for too long. No offense. Her lip quirks. Honestly, doesn't offend me. She looks over at you. And we need a decision. You can't please both of us. Our points of views are never going to line up. Okay, I'm ready. And I'll go still and stoic, showing no signs of emotion displayed before. In this moment, they look very much alike. Yeah. Andronicus opens his mouth and shuts it forcefully. Finally he speaks. You're right, we're safe here, but the sorrow is ugly. If the rumors are true, I don't want to do its work. Gold-tide brides. Alright, she says, letting out a ragged breath. Just, let's talk about something else, Andronicus. What, can we do that? Woo! I did it! Have you helped Ramir and Andreas to come to a conclusion? Yeah, I managed. She claps her hands softly. Well done indeed. To be free to choose is part of life in Nil best. We must make our own choices, just as we own our responsibilities for the outcome of those choices. Before I can allow you to alter the course of a brother's life, I would hear your opinion on something which touches the lives of all our kind. You have no doubt heard of the endless battle, but what do you know about it? Why do we fight? And who is right? She bows her head slightly. In perchance you have heard only a little bit of the conflict. You may wish to speak to a brother for answer. What's the point? McKenna sneers. The endless battle used to mean something. It used to be people with principles, but they lost sight of their true goals and became self-perpetuating war machines. I don't think the first could stop it now, even if she were alive. It's worthless and stupid. I doubt either side knows what they're fighting for anymore, if they even care. Andreas, it's not uncommon opinion, McKenna, at least among those of us who abstain from the fighting. She turns to you. What about you? Have you got... Sorry. Have you an opinion as strong, or do you wish to gather more information? Yeah, I can give an answer. It's war. Yeah. It's war. Senseless violence caused by pride. Not all wars are senseless. Some wars is the only means to which a group may achieve its goal. Yeah, one. She nods. There is merit in standing by one's opinion. Only be certain that it's doing so you do not shut your eyes and open to the opinions of others. She clasps her hand together. So, why do you think I have Arceus? No, let us start from the first step. Why would I tell you to talk to Melmoth when he has ridiculed my beliefs? You wanted to expose me to other points of view. Precisely. When we have incomplete information and are exposed to alternative opposite viewpoints, how do we judge which is true? We must reach a conclusion at some point. And imagine that soul grasps true. And what do you imagine I intend when I ask you to intervene? Disputes. Yeah. Exactly so. My intentions for you in the task was to change the lives of your siblings for the better, while they still control their own bodies, to offer them alternatives, and see if you can provide them a route through their troubles that maintain their core goals. Then we come to the question for the Endless Man. What purpose did that discussion serve? Challenge you maybe to learn more about the battles? Yeah. Only insofar as it forced you to evaluate your own self and own motivations, my friend. The goal in all of this was to make you question your assumptions, to see things through others' eyes. She holds your gaze. It may be that nothing of importance happens in Numenera. You might enter, speak with Mazov, and leave without altering him a bit, but even so, there will be other Mirs. What if the next one is Melmoth's or Ramir's or even mine? Whose assumptions will you take with you into that life? Whose goals will you accomplish, and at what cost? You have the power to change the course of life, of many lives, without their permission or even their knowledge. You will have to weigh the decisions against your own, deciding whether the needs of your life are more important than theirs. You will have to know which utmost certainty enter you. What does one life matter? Seek your own answers, sister. That's what matters much. If you're talking about legacy, who cares? What matters is what you on side. Yeah, that's pretty much. She murmurs, is that criticism? I cannot disagree that life should be lived rather than observed. Once one can observe all the way to the grave and suddenly realize that love is wasted. Ooh, red tights. From within a room, she produces a small clean box and a stylized version of changing. This is the mere caster of the castoff named Zirian, one brother who looked into it once and reported seeing Zirian in the fields of Pagan and later speaker of Mazov. I highly recommend you take care of any unfinished business before entering the mirror. You can change the past after all. Anything might happen. Let me know when you're ready. I'll return when I'm ready. And I think I'm going to leave it there. I'm sorry most of these episodes are a lot of talking. There's a lot of story in this. And as I said, I'm going to be skipping mostly the side stories and quests and that. And I might do that on a side playthrough that I do by myself. Anyway, this is Daycarn signing off. Bye!